Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is 1:58 p.m. on a Tuesday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. I come to you today to discuss the subpoenaed, yes, they had to subpoena the Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheatle. Let me explain to you, the Secret Service was created on July the 5th, 1965. I have made notes today because I don't want to forget anything. I have been up since 4:30 and I watched Congress intensively question Kimberly Cheatle, the director of the Secret Service. It was ghastly. It was ghastly to say the least. I cannot tell you how the American people I read and watched while it was being filmed, comments online coming through from Republicans and Democrats, comments and questions asked to Cheatle, the director of the Secret Service, from congressmen and women. So many states represented. I ask you to bear with me. I ask you to be patient with me, because it was the most infuriating, the most disgraceful, the most, people in Congress and online that were commenting were livid, to say the least. It was a circus. This Kimberly Cheatle was a disgrace. Please, I implore you to be patient with me. There is no other word for her conduct. Shameful words should I share. Shameful, disgraceful, unacceptable, dodging questions, not answering questions, causing the American people to be at such high risk at her incompetency, her irresponsibility, and her inability to resign, effective immediately. Allow me to read my notes, because I want to share with you the notes that I took down coming from Congress and Kimberly Cheatle herself, okay? Questioned by members of Congress. All congressmen and women were livid and infuriated. Some swore at her. That's right, that's how livid they were, because of her inability to just answer yes or no questions. She refused to. It was horrendous. Cheatle wouldn't answer basic questions. It was embarrassing to the Secret Service, to say the least. Cheatle habitually lied under oath and was told so by congressmen and women. Cheatle enormously dodged questions, and Congress addressed that numerous times. She blamed over and over again the FBI when it was her role and responsibility to know all facts after 9 days of evidence that were provided by the public through in writing, through camera evidence, and she kept on constantly. One viewer said, I am to the point of drunk to the amount of times she's blaming the FBI when it's her responsibility, her accountability to know all these things. And she kept saying, shifting blame. I'm waiting for the FBI evidence. I'm waiting for the FBI evidence. Absolute rubbish. Do not insult our intellect. Ms. Cheatle. You were insulting to Congress, you were insulting to the American public, and you made America look so weak to the world. And you'll understand why when I continue. Cheatle, continually repeated she had to wait for evidence when the public provided evidence in writing and through video, as I explained. She shared she didn't know when the threat occurred, when it was proven time lapsed, right? She was given by the public. They saw Crooks, the shooter, 5:59 p.m. There was 50 minutes before President Trump was shot at, 6:11 p.m. he was shot at. There was given evidence 15 minutes before by a man who's been online, oh my goodness, so many times. This video has been repeated on social media where he turned and shared with the FEMA Secret Service. There's a man there in beige nude clothing. He's got a gun, and you can hear him telling her. She does nothing. The Secret Service does nothing. 55 minutes beforehand. At 5:59, the Secret Service was again told there is a man who has climbed a ladder, gotten onto a rooftop and has a gun. He had all that time, a 20-year-old who was no way near as experienced as the Secret Service snipers, right? Whereas Kimberly Cheatle, her name is quite appropriate, Cheatle, she shared she didn't know when the threat occurred, when it was proven through time, events. Another lie. She said it was told to her by Congress that Secret Service was advised 15 minutes before the shots were fired. She was also in the knowledge previously to this rally that Iran made a threat regarding Trump. Secret Service knew about this before the rally began. There was also given information to the Secret Service that weren't controlling that building that was only about 140 yards, so close to the former president, Donald J. Trump. So close. This building wasn't guarded at all. It had a tin roof. There were Secret Service men inside. Mr. Crooks, the 20-year-old, climbed a ladder. There was no noise reported on a tin roof. Secret Service inside. No nothing was reported to Secret Service. While Secret Service men were in there and they would have heard his noise, climbing up a ladder, getting onto the roof, and nothing was done under her leadership. Why, congressmen and women asked multiple times. She dodged the question. They were furious. Many swore multiple times. The spokesperson had to tell them to please calm down. People were absolutely furious. Ironically, but not surprisingly, the media, the Democratic media that interviewed her, had received more evidence Cheatle had given them than she gave Congress. A congressman recreated the actual scene 16 times. He informed Ms. Cheatle, right? 16 times. The last time he owned a firearm was in 2006. He got some of his local enforcement mates together and they recreated the scene 16 times. The last time, I will repeat, he used a rifle, a weapon, a gun, was in 2006. He took from a sloped area, the exact sloped area Crooks was on, he took 15 shots out of 16 that would have killed the president. And because the former president, and because of former President Trump turned his head, that's why he missed. He turned his head. Otherwise, he would have shot him in the temple dead. This congressman and others were livid. She kept regurgitating and regurgitating. It's going to take 60 days for the FBI to give her information. What a whole lot of, in one of the congresswomen's words, crap. She said, "You're full of crap. This is bullshit." And she was asked by the speaker to please calm down. That's how furious Congress was. Why? Because Cheatle told lie after lie after lie after knowing lie. And you'll find out at the end what one congresswoman said from Florida. Mr. Crook, the 20-year-old, had more ammunition and explosive in his car. Oh, yes, in his car. One congressman found out. Did she know about this, Ms. Kimberly Cheatle? She wouldn't answer. All they asked from her was a yes or no answer. She wouldn't answer. She regurgitated. I'm waiting for the 60-day FBI factual evidence. I'm trying to stay calm here. She is the Secret Service director with 29 years of experience, and she's waiting for the FBI. Are you for real, woman? No. You should know all of this within 48 hours yourself. You are the director of the Secret Service. You should be in the know. Further, one congressman asked her, "Have you visited the site, Miss Director?" What a shameful, disgraceful, despicable woman. And I'm trying to stay calm. I'm just so passionate. I've spent 7 hours on this, watching, taking notes. She's not once visited the site. where that beautiful man, Corey, who protected his family, his 2 daughters, died. He was a firefighter. He died protecting his daughters and his wife, sitting behind former President Trump. Crooks, it was told by evidence, while she sat there, she was so stone cold, no emotion, which was so infuriating. The whole congressmen and women looked at her and said, "It is disgraceful that you sit here. You have no answers. You continually dodge and pass over responsibility and accountability to the FBI when you are the one that's responsible to know all of this. How come you have given more evidence to Democratic news broadcasting channels and media than you have to us?" They were absolutely fuming, the congressmen and women. Because Mr. Crooks, the 20-year-old shooter, had explosives wrapped around him, ready to go to his car after the shooting and cause a mass casualty murder. That's right. While the director, Ms. Cheatle, didn't answer any questions with just a simple yes or no, that the common bystander gave evidence from bystanders that congressmen and women provided. Further, Cheatle made the ongoing habitual excuse of the roof not being guarded because it was too sloped. Yet, Secret Service snipers were on much more slopier roofs, proven by Congress. Also, to add insult to injury, the Secret Service had much information on file of Mr. Crooks, the shooter, knowing Trump was having a rally that day, knowing that he looked at the 2022 school shooting on his computer. They knew all this information and did nothing, unguarded that building that was only 140 yards away. She sat there stone cold, not acknowledging any of it, her responsibility. Many congressmen and women called for her resignation. She wouldn't do it. She did not resign. Even though Ronald Reagan, Secret Service director, when he was shot at, resigned effectively immediately, she wouldn't. There was a Florida senator who was a Democrat, a female Democrat, quoted, "Cheatle, you have perjured yourself. I want a full investigation, Mr. Speaker. American people don't feel safe under your leadership, Cheatle, and we are all sitting ducks. You are a disgrace to this nation and to the world at hand. You have compromised United States security, and you have compromised us as a weak nation viewed to the world beyond." And what did Cheatle do? Ms. Kimberly Cheatle, she sat there stone cold. She wasn't ashamed. She wasn't disgraced. She kept saying, "I am responsible," but she took no accountability. She sat there stone cold. while congressmen and women, while the audience that I was reading, all their comments, both Republican and Democrats, were absolutely furious with her. And there's so much on my news feed, YouTube news feed, that I can't even keep up with in regard to her performance, in regard to her conduct, in regard to her inability to just answer simple questions. I shared with my daughter, I simply can't watch this, but as an investigative researcher, I must. It was infuriating. So grossly infuriating. This is unacceptable. I plead with you, I implore with you, American people, have this woman fired effectively, immediately. You can't imagine what the Middle East, you cannot imagine what they will be thinking about you now. You're fair game. As the Senator of Florida said, you're sitting ducks ready to be killed, ready for any nation now to attack America because they have no backbone. Under the director, Kimberly Cheatle, she must resign or be fired effective immediately. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now, from a very concerned writer, poet and author and investigative researcher in Melbourne, Australia. Au revoir.